JEM is my name, no one else is the same. JEM is my name. JEM.
Imagine, if you will, you were at least indirectly responsible for the near destruction of the entire world. How would that make you feel? Probably not great. Even if everything turned out all right, you might find yourself moping, or perhaps brooding. And that is where, indeed, we find the Holograms. They are recording a new album. They're under contract, you see. And Shayna isn't feeling it. Well, start feeling it, Shayna. We're paying for this recording time. This is expensive. You twit. Low blood sugar, my butt. But no, Shayna, there are people outside. Go away, people outside. How dare you be outside? Harumph. So, Shayna is feeling down, and the rest of the girls are wondering what's up. So they decide to go out to a mansion that Rio knows the people who live there. It's a big house on a lake with a pier that extends out into water that's about 1.5 feet deep. I don't know. What's the point of this pier? I mean, that water can't be more than 2 feet deep. I mean, I suppose if you're using a canoe or something, it's fine, but that's a hell of a sandbar. And I love Kimber's donut inner tube. That's hilarious. So the girls are talking about, say, what's up with Shayna? Trouble with Tony? Nah, they talk to her and she says she's fine with Tony. It's something else that she's just at this point loath to discuss for reasons unstated. But she's not the only one. Aja, indeed, is about to cut her hair. And apparently, she has a history of cutting her hair right before she breaks up with a dude. So everyone's like, "Aw, poor Craig." And she's like, "No, I'm not breaking up with Craig. It's just time for changes, maybe?" But seriously, something's eating at her. But she is also not ready to talk about it. And Jerica herself, something's going on there. One of the girls notes to her, while they're floating in the lake on their intertubes, she says, "Hey, Jerica, why are you still wearing the JEM hologram?" And she goes, "Oh, golly, gosh, and heck, I didn't even realize I was doing that." And they say, "Bull Pucky, you had to go into the bathroom or bedroom or wherever, change into a bathing suit, and then put the hologram back on." Which is probably not accurate. She can probably change her clothes without taking the... You know, I can change my clothes with my eyes shut, so I'm sure she can change her clothes with a full hologram on. But fair point, it's incredibly unlikely that she didn't realize that she's wearing the JEM hologram. So, is she cripplingly body shy like moi? It doesn't seem to be. She goes ahead and takes off the hologram. So we talked. So Kimber, what's her problem? She doesn't have a problem. Kimber's Kimber. She's fine. But they decide to invite the boys over. Rio, Craig, and Tony. And Shayna rightfully points out that they're excluding Kimber. I'm sorry, Stormer. Kimber's significant other, Stormer. And like, yeah, but she's with the rival band, and even though we just sang together to, Kumbaya Silica, the bad guy, away in the last issue, we're still rival bands. We're pretty sure someone misfitty tried to murder us, so... And she says, yeah, but it's not fair to Kimber, and Kimber's not going to like you, so do it anyway. So she says, all right, fine. So they invite Stormer. And we actually get into some interesting discussions here, which deviates from the cartoon a little bit, regarding the hologram secret that we keep from Rio. In the cartoon, the secret was fairly arbitrary, at least initially. The secret became something we keep a secret because, oh man, it's going to look really bad now if he finds out. But in the comic, the hologram technology in the wrong hands can be dangerous. Hell, even in the right hands, it can have some unintended side effects. So can we really trust Rio? He is a reporter after all. And also, if you, Jerrica, tell Rio, which she wants to do, and it's Aja who's actually giving her the significant cons of this decision, points out that if you tell Rio, Kimber's really going to want to tell Stormer. And even if you are absolutely 100% positive that you can trust Rio, can we trust Stormer? Was she the one who tried to kill us? Meanwhile, the Misfits themselves are recording an album, or at least a song, in a studio. And Pizzazz stops the recording and says, Stormer, this lyric line here is not flowing, we need to change it. And Blaze, who is part of the band now, comes up with a suggestion. And it works. And they use it. Well done, Blaze. Of course, that kind of ticks off Jeddah, who says, hey, you never use our suggestion, our Roxy and I's suggestion. And Stormer says, yeah, that's because you suck at lyric writing. So they finish recording their song, and what I find particularly interesting is I had mentioned the Holograms had rented a studio, or at least rented some sound engineer's time to help them record their album. Pizzazz is looking at the art. Pizzazz is handling the sound engineering herself. And you know she can afford a sound engineer, but I have a feeling that she is, again, like me in so many ways, kind of a control freak. She's just going to do it herself. And also she's shown that she has an extraordinarily high talent musically. She figured out how to do a medley of the two bands' songs, which saved the world. So thanks, Pizzazz. You may be a prickly little shit, but you did save the world, so good on you there. Anyway, Stormer, the band's going to go out to eat. And Stormer says, hey, I'm going to go up to a house and hang out with my girlfriend, and Pizzazz gives her guff over that. So, meanwhile, the Holograms are roasting s'mores, and Stormer hasn't shown up yet. And so Kimber's like, I've got to go look for her. And Jerrica says, Kimber, wait. And she says, no, Jerrica, I have to do this. And she says, no, dipshit, we're coming with you. There's like a bunch of different places she could be, so we're all going to go out and look for her. Ah, happy hugs. So, so Aja and Craig are going to check one road. Tony and Shayna are going to check another. I forget who Kimber's going with. Jerrica and Rio are going to another. While Jerrica and Rio are in the car, Rio says, Jer, I know this is really bad timing, but I've been trying to get you alone all night. Yeah. It's probably not the inflection he used. He seems to have, I have to tell you something important. I read that completely wrong. Doesn't really matter unless I show you a picture of the comic. Oh, okay, I'm showing you a picture of the comic. Yeah, it says I have to tell you something. It's important. Yes. I could have just not done that, but of course, maybe future editing Andrew will screw myself over and make me look very foolish. Either way. Wow. painted myself into a corner here. So, Stormer crashes into a tree and gets eaten by a bear. Death-defying adventure! So, is Rio gonna have to jump a bear? Rio might have to jump a bear. He's done it before. He can do it again. Find out next time in Ch-Ch Changes, Issue 2.